minutes. We have to get out of the arena.
Then we have to go through this plasma membrane. What's this smelly smell I smell from the smelly tree that smells?
Oh, isn't this gas coming out?
Oh no, we have to get out of here before the game makers kill us.
That way. We finally reached the edge of the arena. This is the plasma membrane. Whoa, it's squishy.
That's because the plasma membrane is like a fluid.
The plasma membrane is like a fluid mosaic model. It clearly illustrates how the phospholipids aren't actually bonded together, so it's overall very fluid in shape.
Indeed. The plasma membrane is like all other cell membranes. It has phospholipids and proteins.
What are phospholipids?
Phospholipids have hydrophilic phosphorus heads and 2 hydrophobic fatty acid chains.
That's right. And the hydrophilic heads point towards the aqueous outer environment and inner environment of the cells.
And the tails face inwards, away from the water. The two rows of these phospholipids creates the lipid bilayer.
Oh, I get it now, but what does the lipid bilayer do? Okay, so first off, the lipid bilayer creates a stable barrier between the inner cytoplasm and the outer environment.
It also regulates what goes in and out of the cell.
If it regulates what goes in and out, how are we supposed to escape? Well, we have 2 options. There's passive transport and active transport.
We could try passive transport first. Wait, what was passive transport?
Oh, I know this one. Passive transport is when materials go through the membrane, and then it doesn't require energy, but it requires diffusion, such as osmosis, simple, and facilitated.
Yes, and the movement of these substances through these small gaps actually prevents crowding. And passive transport includes osmosis, facilitated diffusion, and facilitated diffusion, and simple diffusion.
Simple diffusion is when materials from higher concentration go to lower concentration. It's mainly for hydrophobic substances that can interact with the oily barrier.
Now, the oily barrier, the hydrophobic substances can interact with the oily barrier, so they can get through the small gaps.
Oh, then Katniss, you should be able to get through because you're a water molecule, and currently there's more sugar outside than in.
Go!
Yay, I'm across. Okay, so now we got all that done. What about you, Michelle?
So now I'm going to explain facilitated diffusion. So facilitated diffusion is when the protein channels actually have to guide the substances through. And do you know why this is, Robert? It's okay. It's okay. I'll teach you. So basically, the substances are hydrophilic, which means that they can't interact with the oily barrier, so they need help of the protein channels to get through. And an example of this is glucose. Wait, is you? Yeah, that means I can get through. I'm going through the protein channel. Woo! Peter, come on!
Okay, so now I got passive transport. What about active transport?
That's easy. That's when the substance goes against the gradient. This requires energy.
Yes, and active transport includes exocytosis, which is sending substances out of the cell, and endocytosis, which is taking substances in.
Endocytosis, it includes pinocytosis, yeah, and then phagocytosis. Pinocytosis involves cells drink, and then phagocytosis involves cells eat.
So basically, endocytosis, it basically has to take the substances into the cell, and there are a few ways of doing this, and one is called pinocytosis, which pinches it in, which pinches the liquid molecules in. And there's phagocytosis, which kind of eats the substances in because they're large molecules.
Oh, that means I can get through.
Yes, that is true because you're a hydrophobic substance. Yes. And this works because Robert, protein, who is in a vesicle, kind of merges with the cell membrane, and it explodes outwards, sending the substance out of the cell.
Oh, then we use osmosis, simple diffusion, and facilitated diffusion.
Yes.
So we're out. We've
Yeah.
gone out.
Oh, back to the